Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another Mindcraft discussion. There's little G. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and that's little Giovanni. And we're just under this, I call it a gazebo, but I guess it's not really what it is. So we're back there in the woods, and this is where we often film when it's drizzling, even though it's not drizzling. I just kind of felt like being here. That's it. Felt like it. Do what makes you feel good, right? So anyway, he's having a seat for himself. I'm really excited to talk about the 3 Ps and getting rid of them. Getting rid of the 3 Ps. That is the title. Get rid of the 3 Ps. So I had talked about the 3 Ps a while ago when talking about optimism as a lifestyle. So is pessimism. So it's a choice. And obviously, like most things in life, there's a spectrum, right? It's not like you're either here's an optimist and there's the ultimate pessimist. I mean, you might be. You could be there, or you could be here, but there's the whole middle, right? And so we talked about the 3 Ps of the pessimist being everything is everything. Also using the word everything is using those absolutes is not healthy. We talked about that. Everything, always, nothing. They don't exist in the world anywhere, right? So saying, that no one likes me, I'll never get a partner. My anxiety always gets the best of me, whatever. Those words are just dums. We don't want to use them. They're rigid thinking. Okay, so anyway, and pessimists often use rigid thinking. So in order to be successful, now obviously success can be defined a gazillion different ways. So you can think with those 3 Ps, if they're still going on, the chances are like 0.00001% that person is going to be successful, no matter how you define it, really. Okay, so there's money. That's one way, and there's having, the square footage and the white picket fence and partners and kids and all that stuff. And then there's authentic success, right? Like being the best, highest vibe version of yourself. And in reality, when you're running on high octane passion, usually, you kind of jumping on the abundance train, because then when you know your value, you're more likely to know your passion. When you know your passion, you're so excited to do whatever it is, you don't really think about anything else. I'm not talking about ignoring your family. I don't mean that. You're just not looking for ways to improve ways of things that you're bad at, professionally speaking, career-wise, like that. You're more focused on becoming great at what you're already good at. And it's just like tunnel vision, and you just know, just like my good friend Oprah knows and says. She just isn't aware of our friendship, but you know by how you feel. Wayne Dyer says the same thing. So when you're on the right track, when you're in alignment, Abraham Hicks says that too. When you're in alignment, your highest vibe self is on track with that meaning and purpose that you were meant to experience. You just feel like you have the world by the ass. I don't know how else to say it, and it's just such a good feeling. It's better than happy. Happy's good. We all want to be happy. But fulfillment is a whole nother level. Okay, so here's the thing. If you want to reach that fulfillment level, riding that high-flying Frisbee at your high-flying best version of yourself, then you got to get rid of the 3 Ps, all right? So the first one is permanent. So the person who, often the pessimist, okay, but maybe somebody who's not a full-blown pessimist might have a couple of these, okay? So permanent, thinking that things are just always going to be the way that they are. That person is super locked into their physical environment. I'm looking at all this, it's not going to be different. Of course, this is a great view. Maybe that's a bad example, but that things are just permanent. This is how my life is. These are the people in my life. This is my educational level. This is their educational level. No one encouraged me to go to college, and now I'm 50 and I didn't go, or I was home with the kids for 18 years, and why didn't I go then? And I'm 50, and I can't start now, and nah. It's all permanent. This is never going to change. This is my life. These are my circumstances. This is my intelligence. These are my skills. Blah, 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 blah. Got to get rid of that, because anything can change. That is so Carol Dweck. If you don't know Carol Dweck, she's all about the growth mindset. She's done a ton of work on how to shift out of that fixed mindset, which is what that is, into a growth mindset. Even with your intelligence, our genes there, genetics, of course. We now know, however, though, we're not locked in. You're not just born into this world, all, wet and cheeky and adorable, being stuck in that. You can make changes with effort. You can change basically anything. There's even stuff written right now. I just read an article not that long ago, like sort of math, I don't know, less than 6 months ago, about how you could even change parts of your personality. Now, that was never thought to be a case, or that was most often, let's not use the word never, it was most often not thought to be the case. It's a pretty like hard stop, actually. And now, and it's more of an uphill push for sure, because a personality is different than just a simple behavior. Obviously, it's a pattern of behavior over a long period of time. But the thing is, it just takes more effort, but you can consciously choose that stuff, which is really awesome. Okay, so we're going to get rid of things being permanent. Just like delete that whole idea out of your head. The next thing is to get rid of the pervasive, the P that stands for pervasive. And so pessimists tend to think that if something's going wrong in one part of their life, then everything's going wrong. And there's the word everything again, because they're super big. People that are sort of subscribers to pessimism, that's my students say a lot, subscribe. That's the word now, which will probably be gone in a couple of weeks. You know how it is with young adults. But anyway, I can be hip and cool at this minute. So if a subscriber to pessimism is going to think, oh, I have a problem in my relationship, therefore everything's going to hell in the handbasket. My work life isn't good. You know, my making dinner life isn't good at home. My travel life isn't good. My social circle's clearly on the downs. I mean, it kind of generalizing. That's what pervasiveness is, right? That if it's one place, it's all over the place. So you got to get rid of that, because we all have different parts to us. We're obviously walking around as a whole and complete being. We have all different parts of our lives because we have different roles. We have maybe a mom hat, a dad hat, an employee hat. And with that employee hat, there might be all kinds of different hats. Like you might be a director of this and on that committee and all that stuff. You might have a volunteer hat. You might have a sibling hat. You might have a son-daughter hat. You've got parents in your life, or maybe you're even older and you're taking care of them. Who knows, right? So there's all that, and so there's all different parts of us. And just because one thing is wrong in one spot doesn't mean it's like battery acid leaking all over your whole entire life. All right, so get rid of that P. All right, so we're getting rid of permanent, we're getting rid of pervasive, and we are definitely getting rid of personal. If you haven't read Miguel Ruiz's 4 Agreements, I used to have a pocket copy. I don't know where it went, though, now that I think of it. Anyway, it's a great book, and I love it because you can kind of just read one. You can read them in an order or not. And it's just it's really, really good. He has wonderful things to say. And one of them is one of the 4 agreements is not to take things personally, because, there's lots of reasons. First of all, people are mostly, talking and speaking through their own filter. We all are. Because how you grew up, where you were in the sibling order, whether you grew up in an urban or rural environment, your parents' political beliefs, your parents' religious beliefs, culturally, how you were brought up, all of it is going to come in, how you come into even how you say pass the salt. Like it's all part of us. We're hardwired for all that stuff. And so we're all the main, this is what Don Miguel Ruiz would say, is that we're all the main actors on our own stage. It's just true. Not saying we're selfish beasts. It's just we're looking through the lenses right here. So that's how it goes. So whatever, the majority of what somebody is talking about is going through their own filter, and it's not about you to begin with. Second thing is, let's just say if it's negative stuff and you're taking it personally, and then you feed it into the hamster wheel and you're saying, oh, I can't believe they said this, and then you start doubting yourself, well, maybe I am bad at this. Maybe this job really isn't for me. Maybe they're right. Maybe I don't even have the tools. Maybe none of these tools are in my toolbox. Wow. Maybe I should completely bag this career of 10 years and start from scratch. Maybe that one person with their big opinion was right. Or maybe you heard it from a couple of people. So then what happens is, if people make actual character statements like you're lazy, you're never gonna, and all that negative shame stuff, then even if you don't have a lazy self, or you do and you want to work on it, then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because especially when there are people who are meaningful to you. So obviously parents are at the top of the list because they are there before you get there. We get there, right? And then partners would be probably next in line, and then people can say stuff at work, and especially if some people are saying similar things, we jump on the self-doubt train and take it, and then it ends up being internalized in part of our hard drive. So that needs to go, because if you're going to be successful, you got to clear the air, clear the way for clarity. And we cannot have clarity with all that fog in the way. I think Don Miguel Ruiz talks about the smoke in the mirror or something like that, which you can interpret several different ways. My students, when they read it, they interpret it different ways. But to get metaphorically speaking, to get rid of the smoke or the fog that's in your path. Oh, that is such a good example over there. I think we'll walk over there because it's a really cool hiking path. It's definitely a lot of bears back there, but I don't think in the middle of the day there will be. And so in order to be successful, I also want to give Tony Robbins a shout out, because even though I talk about this all the time, it's part of the Minecraft curriculum, actually. I was listening to Tony Robbins earlier, and he was talking about the same thing. So we're on the same page, Tony and I, but I really like to give people credit. It's just so important. Oh, these beautiful little purple flowers. Okay, so you want to really clear that hiking trail so that you can walk a straight line. Or even this hiking trail that's pretty straight, I guess. I know where it goes and start to go uphill pretty soon, which I'm a big fan of, but just not at this minute because we already did our walk earlier. So you want the hiking path to look like that, clear, smooth sailing. So you got to get rid of permanent, pervasive, and personal if you want to be successful, however you define successful. Pessimists are not usually successful, even if they might make money, maybe. But you know what? When you're running on high-octane passion because you're listening to your inner voice and you're in alignment with, your own, divine self, with what you're meant to do, then, like I said, you can have the world by the ass. And that's really, being the best version of yourself, in my opinion. It's the highest form of success there is. Okay, so the 3 Ps, get rid of them. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful Notch in northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.